Hey everybody, this is Debbie from total-german-shepherd.com, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit, just very quickly. I'm going to give you my recipe for making my mixture for hot spots. Now if your dog ever has a hot spot, and German Shepherd seems to have these quite often, this is probably what you're going to use exactly. I'll tell you this is what I use. Now there are a lot of things out there, a lot of different things you can use, but I'll just show you what I use and what's been very successful for me in the past. Now this is assuming that after your dog gets the hot spot that you've already taken the time to trim down the hair as close as you can, all the way around the area where the hot spot actually happens. Once you've done all that, and that's very important, if you don't clip the hair, the hot spot won't be able to breathe properly and it won't heal properly and it'll just spread. So it's very important that you remember the first thing you need to do if you find that your dog does have a hot spot is that you clip off the hair around that area as close as you can and all the way around the hot spot area, just so that the hot spot can have room to breathe, because that's what's happened. There's been a lot of trapping of water, moisture, and hair, and it's just been allowed to grow in that kind of area, and that's not what you want. You want to make sure you clean it out as best as you can, clean off that hair, and then just once you do that, then you're ready to go with the treatment. So first of all, what you see here are several things, and it looks like a lot, but really once you get it down to the basic components, it's really not that much. But first of all, once my dogs have hot spots, what I try to do first of all is I try to clean them off as best I can, and I use antiseptic wash, and you can get this at any pharmacy, just about anywhere. The reason I like this is because it's not real soapy, and it doesn't make your dog so itchy after you use it. Now, if you don't have antiseptic wash, you can make some, soapy water that you can use. The only thing I suggest is if you do use soapy water to clean out, any kind of abrasion or any kind of area or a hot spot or whatever it may be on your dog, is don't put too much soap in the water, because if you do and if you don't rinse it off really good afterwards, you're just going to make matters worse, because the dog's going to be itchy because of the soap residue when it dries on its skin. So if you don't use the antiseptic wash, just make sure when you're making your soapy water that you make just a little, very, very lightly soapy. You don't want much soap at all in there, just so it is easy to rinse off afterward. Okay, so that's got that out of the way. Now, once you cleaned out your area pretty good, you see here I've got several things. The main thing I use to mix up my mixture in, and here we go, this is my high-tech stuff here, is just a regular glass. Now, just so you see about how big the glass was, you can see here I've got like a 12-ounce soft drink can. So that kind of gives you some idea of just the way I usually mix it up. It's not nothing, it's not rocket science, it's not real hard, but that kind of gives you some idea. Now, what I do is I take my cup, I'll go ahead and stick it in the sink. First thing I grab, and this is very important, if you get your alcohol, and you want just regular alcohol, and this is the two main things in this recipe: alcohol, which you see here, and also the hydrogen peroxide. Now, you don't want to use too much of these, and this is very important, and I'll show you why. Alcohol, just think about it, you put it on you, it burns like heck, doesn't it? So you just want a very, 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 very tiny amount. I usually put maybe like, I don't know, like a tablespoonful. So not very much at all. Now, as far as the peroxide goes, I put a whole lot more in there, but still not too much. Okay, so that's all I have left. So I'm about out of hydrogen peroxide. But anyway, if you look at the bottom of the cup now, you see kind of where I'm swirling it around. You see where the level is, just about the bottom of that. You see that black line there? That's about where the mixture comes. So see, there's not very much at all. And remember, of that mixture, all that's peroxide except for one tiny little bit of alcohol. Now here comes the secret ingredient. So I just take that and I fill it up with water. And there you go. So once you do that, you can swirl it around. If I had a spoon or something, I'd stir it, but since I don't, I'll just kind of swirl it in the cup. Now once you do that, the next thing you want to do, take that mixture, and this makes it a whole lot easier for you. Get you a spray bottle, and I would make sure that you label it too, so you'll know, what the heck it is down the road. Put it in a spray bottle, and this makes it so much easier to apply to your dog, because you can just take it, spray it on there, and you're good to go. And that you can apply that as many times as you need to. And what this mixture does basically is it helps dry off that wound so that it can heal quicker. Now the next thing I use, let's put my mixture up here by it so I remember what it is. Okay. So what's in here is what I just made. So it's just the peroxide, the alcohol mixture and water. That's all it is. The next thing I use is something called witch hazel. And witch hazel. And all I've done is I've bought some witch hazel. And the witch hazel comes in a container very much like the peroxide. In fact, it's about the same size. And you'll find it in the area that you'll find the alcohol and all that sort of stuff. So that's just straight. I just take the witch hazel and I pour it directly into a container like this. And I don't mix anything else with it. And that's what I use to help cool off the area so the dog will leave it alone and not, you know, mess with it so much. It cools it off. It makes the dog not want to itch and scratch and tear into it like normally would. So some people use aloe for the same kind of deal. You know, put it on there. The only thing is I don't like aloe because it's really messy. It's hard to get on, especially if your dog's real wiggly. I find that this is just so much easier just to get the witch hazel. It has the same effect. It's very thin liquid. You can put it in a container like this that you can get anywhere for, you know, a couple of dollars or whatever, and spray it on it, and boom, you're done. So, you know, I don't advise this. I mean, if you want to use that, you can go that route, but it really makes this a mess, and it doesn't really let the wound breathe, and that's what you want. You want the wound to breathe. So give that hot spot a chance to breathe. And both of these things are very light, so it doesn't take a whole lot, and then boom, you're ready to go. So that's my arsenal of weapons and using you know, to battle hot spots with. Now there is one other alternative that some people use, and I have used this a couple of times. And if you look at this container here, and it looks kind of weird right now, but basically all it is tea. Now I've taken tea in one tea bag, and I brewed it in like 2 or 3 cups of water. And once it boiled, once it came to a boil, I put in a single buffered aspirin, and I let it dissolve in there. And then you can use that in place of the witch hazel. So it's just your choice. Basically, both these things are to cool the wound so that the dog will leave it alone so it can heal quicker. And this is here basically to help the wound dry out, and that's what you want. So I hope this has been helpful. If we can ever do anything else to help you with your German Shepherd, please come by our site and, you know, read all the information, because I've got lots of stuff there that I have used, you know, over my many years of time with the German Shepherd. So I hope this has been helpful, and if we can help you again, please come by anytime and visit our site. And again, that's total-german-shepherd.com. Thank you so much for your time, and y'all have a good day.